Hey everybody, welcome to Summoner Wars. Now Summoner Wars is one of my favorite games, and the reason that is because the rule set is so simple. There really aren't that many things going on, and you'll start to pick that up when we get stuck into it. A little bit on the objective and what we're doing here. Now we are summoners and we're vying for control. My summoner here, Abua, here he has 10 hit points. Once that gets depleted down to 0, I would lose the game. Looking at my opponent, they have Takula, whose health points are 13. We're clashing, we're using tactics, we're sliding these cards around. Normally they can only slide 2 spaces in adjacency. There's ranged units, which can shoot in up to 3 straight line spaces. Units that don't have range, denoted by this sword here, and they need to get close and personal in order to do damage. We're going to start off with my opponent's turn. They are going to use Hypnotic Call. The text reads, target a common or a champion, and you may force the target 1 space towards your summoner. Now, common units are going to be cheaper units. I only have commons out right now. They're going to target my archer and move my archer closer by 1. And that puts them in range of the Mimic Witch. They're summoning with some of their magic. They summoned a Deceiver for 1 magic and 4 hit points. And they have an ability that reads, when an adjacent enemy attacks any card, if 1 or more lightning bolts, I don't quite know what that symbol is, are rolled, the attack adds 1 less damage. Also, additionally, engage each time an adjacent enemy unit moves or is forced away from this unit, add 1 damage to that enemy, which is going to be hard because this summoner is able to shift people around. You just saw my archer get pushed forward, so they could really set up the Deceiver quite well. Their Mimic Witch basically gets to copy the ability of commons that are, I think, within 3 clear line spaces. So they're going to copy my archer. Instead of moving, you can put a boost token on this card, and then once per turn, after this unit attacks, you may spend that boost unit to resolve an additional attack. So there you go, you see the Deceiver moved too, so they're right up, close and personal. If I move away from the Deceiver, I'm going to receive damage here. Gates can be summoned in the 3 backmost rows of your side of the battlefield. Unless your summoner moves really far up, you can always summon gates right next to your summoner. They're striking with the first attack. Those arranged symbols, there's a 4 out of 6 chance for them to be hit, and the swords, there's a 5 out of 6 chance for them to be hit. So I got hit for 2 damage, and that brings my archer down to 2 health. Because they stole my ability, they're getting to attack again with the Mimic Witch, and that's my archer dead. Already starting on the back foot here. Their Deceiver here, because they're a ranged unit, even though they hit the sword and are right next to me, they do no damage. What you see them doing now is they just discarded some cards. They used a couple of cards, they discarded down so that they have 3 magic for next turn, and they drew back up. In my hand, I had a Spirit Mage. What I like about the Spirit Mage is it starts off with a boost token on it, and after this unit moves, either boost it or spend 1 boost to boost a friendly unit within 1 space. And what I'd love to do here is I want to beef up my Lioness, who starts off with 2 health, but once per turn after this unit attacks an enemy unit, you can boost it, and this unit has +1 life for each boost it has to a maximum of 5 plus energy, 5 plus health. If you beef this Lioness up, it can sponge a lot of hits. So that's really going to be my tactic here. And Abua, his ability also shifts boosts onto other cards. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to summon the Spirit Mage. We're going to get him within range. So that puts him within range of next turn. He'll be able to get hit by the Mimic Witch. I'm going to kind of use him as bait. He's not that valuable because he only starts off with 1 boost. And then when he's done with that, it's harder for you to get more boost onto him. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the boost right onto that Lioness. And you see now the Lioness has 3 health as opposed to 2. Abua, we're going to move right behind my Lioness, and because the Lioness is within range, we're going to give it another boost. So it's at 4 health already, and we're going to initiate attacks. My Spirit Mage only got 1 damage there. Really unlucky roll. Unfortunate, and even though I got 2 swords, remember, if you roll that energy, the Deceiver reduces the amount of damage taken. Unfortunately, we didn't kill anybody, and we're probably going to suffer a loss with the Spirit Mage, but we're hoping that building our Lioness up is going to help us in the long run. Now, I decided to get rid of Miti Mumwe, just because it takes a lot of resources. You see, this character only has one sword, and you have to put a lot of resources into it, and it costs 8 magic. Not for nothing, that's really expensive. So that was one card I wanted to discard. We have a little bit more magic. We're going to pass it to them. And as they're plotting their turn, I'll just point out that cards, once you draw through your deck, that's all the magic that you're going to use. So once you run out, that is it, and then you can only play with what's on the field. The Mind Witch is mimicking the Deceiver, and the Deceiver moved, so because I didn't move away, I'm not getting damage there. And they move their Deceiver up forward here, and yeah, just like I expected, the Spirit Mage likely is not going to live. We'll see if we get good rolls, though. Okay, so it's not looking good, and that is our Spirit Mage dead. Now, the max number of attacks you can have are 3 in a turn. You had the Summoner, you had the 2 Deceivers who attacked, and now my Lioness is down to 4 health. And now they have 5 magic, so that's starting to get... 5 magic is closer to they can get a champion out, which you saw Miti Mumwe, who is more expensive. I need to be wary of that they could summon something that's rather expensive. I'm going to put my Archer here, and typically you want to put archers behind units that are on the front line, but I'm going to kind of get them to spend resources on these characters so that I can really build up my Lioness. And I see that I drew a Rhinoceros. I love the Rhinoceroses because if you get boosts on them, they can move through commons, and they damage every common that they move through. We're not going to move the Archer. Remember, the Archer, if it stays in place, put a boost token on it, and then it gets to attack twice. So we're hoping that we can hurt the Deceiver here. Now, Abua, we're going to move out here. We're going to try to bait them into spending an attack on Abua. Your Summoner, your hit points, they're actually a resource in and of themselves. So we're going to try to get them to divert resources away from our Lioness, who's really going to be our workhorse here. And of course, we're going to put another boost on it for more health. So now is a good time to initiate attacks. We were never going to kill this Deceiver, but we got it down to 1 health, which is nice. And our Lioness is at max boost here, or at least it can't get any more health from these boosts if it gets any more. And we only hit 1 with the Archer, which is why we want to spend that boost, and hopefully we just do away with the Deceiver. So our first casualty, and when you kill another card, that converts into a magic for you. So now I have 2 magic going into next round, and I could even summon a Rhinoceros if I wanted to. I don't really want to discard anything. I want to be economic about what I'm using here. And I love all of these cards. These growth units, they work really well because I can quickly add boost onto cards. I'm going to see if I can like bundle my units, especially if this Archer lives. This is a little bit troubling. This common is really powerful. They can attack up to 4 clear straight line spaces away, and they can move an extra space. So they're all about closing that gap here. So hopefully they do not roll well. And their Archer's in range, so they're going to get their 3 attacks here. And they put out another gate. Here comes their first attack, and we lucked out here to only take 1 damage there. Not so lucky here. All the way back down to 3 health, so they're within striking distance and can be sent to the graveyard very quickly. Archer is doing is alive and well. You have to, when you summon units, they have to be next to your gates. I don't know if I explained that rule before. I could summon this Rhinoceros right next to this Lioness, and I can start using growth units in order to boost them. And I think that's what I want to do here. So we're going to put them next to each other. And, you know, I'm getting a little greedy here. I want to move Abua really close. I think I can kill because I have 5 dice that I roll. I think I'm going to be able to kill this Archer. I know that they have 4 magic, so I might be playing it a little risky if something comes back right in my face. but I like this, getting a little aggressive here. And we're going to send his boost from Abua right to the Rhinoceros. Here we go. Let's just beef them all up. So we're going to hit the Lioness, and the growth allows us to target a friendly unit, boost the target, and each friendly adjacent unit. So all of these units are getting boosts. We're going to do that twice. And the reason I'm really doing this is because this card is awesome. Target a commoner champion within 3 spaces of your summoner. Until the end of your turn, the target has this ability. This unit has +1 strength for each boost it has to a maximum of 5. So that's very dangerous, especially this Lioness. This Lioness could end up doing 9 damage because it has 6. Oh, well, it would be reduced by 1. 8 damage to Takulu if I can get up close and personal. Sending my Lioness through the Deceiver is going to create damage for it, but really what I want to be doing here is I want my Rhinoceros. It's close, and the Lioness is going to soak damage. Then the Rhinoceros is going to be able to stampede through and do some damage. So that's my long-term planning I'm thinking of. I also know that... Oh, that's unfortunate. But I also know that I have gates. So if I'm starting to get backed down by the opponent, I can plop this gate down as a defense for Abua. Here we go. This has to hit. Hopefully we can get a kill. It would be great if we did. Okay, so I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about our decision here. You know, the nice thing about the Deceiver is that they only do 1 damage, so they're not even going to kill either of my characters. I don't think I want to discard anything. Here are some cards. This Weaving is a wonderful card. You can summon units adjacent to a target and boost the target, so I can really up the pressure. Let's see what they do. So the Mind Witch is out. And they're copying the Deceiver. I'm anticipating that they're going to push my Lioness away, which is fine because we want it to soak damage anyways. Let's see if they get aggressive with Takulu. They do. They're arranging attacks here. So my Archer could die. That's fine. I actually don't care much for the Archer. And what you're seeing right here, we haven't seen the ability yet. Takulu, when they attack an enemy, if the damage added would be enough to destroy the target, you may instead ignore that damage and take control of the target. So now this Archer, with 2 health, is facing the other direction. So that's actually not something that I was planning for, and we're going to have to work around. Hopefully my Lioness sticks around. Unfortunately not. They discard down, they're back at 5 magic, which means they can counterpunch us if we get a little too greedy here, and their Mimic goes away. Okay, so Chant of Weaving. I was thinking with this Chant of Weaving, I want to buy a little bit more time for my Rhinoceros. And so let's put this Lioness out here. My Rhinoceros is going to have 4, which is great. You're going to start to see the Stampede here. And because I'm walking through all of these units, I kill that Deceiver outright. I get the magic for it. The Archer is pretty depleted. And I'm going to put Abua back 1 step here. And we're going to take out this Archer. Now, again, Abua, we gave the Lioness hit point, an extra hit point, just so it can take some damage here. We're going to put this gate in front of us. It still adds some pressure here, right? Because we can summon units very close to their backline. And let's start initiating some attacks. Right, Takulu could attack it. That's because I couldn't move away from the Deceiver because I didn't want the Rhinoceros to deal get damage for moving away from it. And so it's almost like a bait and switch, because if Takulu comes close, I can use power and I can strike it with, it would be 6 dice. So my Lioness is going to attack. It would be great again if we kill it. It's likely that we would, and we're at 4 health. Already looking very menacing. And we're going to discard that Spirit Mage just because he's a little slow for what we want to be doing here. And there we go, we got our cards. Machineda, she's basically like a beefed up Archer in that she has the same abilities that they do, but she also has more health. This is a new character, the Wind Mage. After this unit attacks, or instead of attacking, this unit may target a common or champion within 2 spaces, force the target 1 space. So, depending on how they want to play this, my Lioness is not looking too good, right? Because they can attack with the Deceiver, attack with the Wind Mage, and then push the Lioness in front of Takulu. So let's see if that's what they end up doing. So they're going to move the Wind Mage Takulu's going back. That's pretty tactical because they're in a more defensive position. So there's 1 damage. It's not looking good for our lioness here. And there's another damage just for pushing them. That's probably the strike that does it. And there we go. Oh. And now the lioness is targeting us. And they're discarding down. They have 4 magic, and they're drawing through their deck quite fast. They only have 12 cards in their draw pile. I have 15, so if I can weather these storms, I'm going to win the economy battle. So we'll see what we can do. What I like here is I got my gate as a defense, and I have to worry about the wind mage pushing now. I like going on this other side so that the wind mage is a little bit exposed, and there's a lane here, so I feel a little bit more protected. And we're going to move that archer here. I'm going to move my Abua just to get that archer, that additional shot. We're hoping we can get lucky and kill the wind mage. And the rhinoceros, we're just going to move him out of range of the lioness and the deceiver, so that our archer is going to be soaking a lot of damage, and then we're going to really pounce them with the rhinoceros in about a turn here. So let's get some attacks. We need... well, we are not going to kill the wind mage. Really not been getting lucky with these rolls. Oh my gosh. Not lucky at all. We're going to discard our archer. You know, I've seen enough of these for the time being. We know that we have this power card, and I want to start saving up for Machinida. So here comes the wind mage, and they can push our archer. It looks like they're going to do that. But the nice thing here is that they're not going to be able to push it away from the deceiver, just into the deceiver's reach. So let's see what they end up doing. They're going to attack. No damage. Okay. If we can get through this alive, that would be amazing. So we need them to miss now this 1 roll here. And we'll see if we did. They've been rolling really well, and so that was a break that we've been really sort of planning on here. And they're back up to 5 magic. There we go. Down to 11 cards. Okay, so we've got our rhinoceros here, and again, we can trample. And I want to use that to protect my more beefed up rhinoceros. So that's what you see me doing here. And remember, we've got our archer too that's sitting in place, and what I like about putting my rhinoceros there is they can't summon units from the front of their gate, so it's a tactical play too. And we're doing a little footsie dance there, just to do an extra free damage. We're going to put our summoner just in safety and give the archer an extra shot here. What I like here is that, I mean, unless I kill some characters, this push ability is going to be useless. Now, Takulu can shoot down this lane if I kill the deceiver, but this archer is not long for this world, so that's a trade-off we're willing to deal with. What we really wanted to do is, again, the lioness can get beefed up, so we wanted attacks for the lioness to be unable to do, so we're just getting rid of this before it becomes a problem, and that's what you see me doing there. Maybe we can get lucky here, and again, because we rolled this blue lightning bolt, we deal no damage to the deceiver. They're actually quite pesky, so we're going to spend a lot of resources trying to whittle them down. It's not looking good here. That's a little bit better, but we're going to suffer the consequences. Let's just discard down an archer. Makes sense. And we've got another gate, so we can take a little bit more aggressive positioning and put another gate down. You have about 3 gates in your deck. They have Hypnotic Call, so they're going to shuffle our characters around, most likely. The Rhinoceros, which is great, right? We were planning on this. We were planning on them, spending resources on the Rhinoceros so that we could use our more powerful one in a moment. And they're putting their Wind Mage, they're kind of clogging that lane because they know that that's going to be a problem, which makes sense. I would suspect that we're going to get another push with our Rhinoceros here. There you go. And there's another damage. So Takulu could kill our Rhinoceros outright. It's looking likely. Well, and time will tell whether that was a good use of the Rhino. It didn't really kill much, but we're using it as a blocker here. And the Archer could live. Yeah, unlikely they were going to live. It's looking like we haven't been spending our resources well here, but really what we're doing is we're bleeding them. If they can use just one extra attack, one extra common unit to really take us down, we're going to start to overwhelm them in the second half of the game. We're playing the long game. They end up moving their Deceiver. I'm actually unsure how they're able to do that after attacking. They're up to 6 energy, so something powerful is coming out sometime, or they're going to send out a lot of pesky little units. I like putting this Lioness here. Again, we're just going to be soaking damage. We can get this Rhino a 5th and his final point here. And what we're going to do here, it looks a little weird because we went backwards and then forwards. We have to avoid the Deceiver's range in order to not take damage with the Rhino. And I think that's good enough to do attacks. I want to put this gate here. Again, we've got good pressure here. And that is... okay, so we have had some bad luck with rolls, and I think that our tides are turning here. And our Rhinoceros, we'll see. Man, these Deceivers, they're just annoying is what they are. They're going to move to Kulu here to kill the Lioness. Yeah, we knew that was happening. Yeah, and the Rhino's going to get pushed around, right? They both are. Okay, yeah, so the Lioness is as good as dead. Rhino getting moved. 3 damage, that is overkill. Now, again, that ability, it seems really cool, but usually when you get with the summoner and you're attacking, you're getting these units with not much hit points, which means they're easy kills. So as long as I kill this Lioness, it's actually going to create more of an economy for me than it is for them. And our Rhinoceros, I don't like that he's at 3 health, but I do like the fact that we still have him in play. Perplexing Tempest. Units move 1 fewer space, so they're really trying to stop me up so they can build things up. I got a couple of options. Of course, I am right by the Deceiver here, so if I move the Rhinoceros away, it's going to deal a lot of damage to it, and it'll be within striking blow. I do have more Lionesses. I could save up for Machinida. And Entangling. I love Entangling. Target 2 friendly commons within 3 spaces of your summoner. Each of the targets has all of the base abilities of other targets. Discard this if either target leaves the battlefield. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to summon a Lioness right here, and then I'm going to target. And that ability, let's see if I can get that card back up. If either target leaves the battlefield, you lose that ability. So what's going to happen here, we've linked our Lioness with our Rhinoceros, and what that means is the Rhinoceros now goes from 3 health to 8 health because it benefits from the Lioness's ability. And we can also inversely beef up the Lioness in order to get it to trample other characters. So I think that's what we're going to do, just because the Lioness is the more vulnerable of the two. And we're going to take some damage here, right? But because we walked away from the Deceiver. But what we've done here is we've attacked with our Rhinoceros and killed 2 characters that were just at chip health. And hopefully we can kill this Wind Mage. We're looking good with magic here, and we're going to attack. Would love to kill it. That is unfortunate because they're probably going to push it in front of Takulu. Let's see if we fare any better over here. This is looking good. Now, if the Rhinoceros lives, that's going to be a big deal for us. Mind which, it's looking like they might go for a full-out attack on this Rhinoceros. Let's see how things fare. 1 damage here. Gonna push him. Yeah, he could die right here. He could, if they land everything perfectly. Okay, so we'll have at least 1 health here. Oh, 3 health. Oh. You know, I'm not quite sure why that Rhino passed away. Because had 6 health. Down to 4. And they only hit it with 1 die. So for it to go, that might be a glitch. That's really unfortunate because we were going to trample them. We were going to really turn the corner here. They might have played a card that I'm unfamiliar with that would have dealt a damage. But that is odd. Well, we're going to rebound. So the big advantage that we built up, it's just gone. It's dissipated. But let's see if we can rebound here. We're going to build up another Rhino. And let's attack with the Lioness just to get some points on the board. Man, I'm still staggering from that hit. Lioness is up to 5 health, but we had a real advantage that we could have pressed. And let's just discard the Lioness. I kind of want to move away from these. It felt like we were doing a lot, especially when we had that big Rhino, but now that Rhino died, which meant that this Lioness no longer has trample. I think Machinita might help us. We got another Chant of Weaving, and we got another gate which we can apply pressure with. They're going to push us around again. I'm surprised that they're not going to attack with Tikulu. Yeah, there's 3 damage there. And they're moving closer with the Wind Mage, and they just did 1 damage to the Rhino. Okay. Oh, here we go. It's trippy. I'm not quite sure how they're able to push these around instead of attacking this. Oh, they can push their units around. So instead of pushing mine, they're using the Wind Mage to push their own units around. You know, I wasn't thinking about that. And we got really fortunate there with the Lioness living. So let's see if we can get them off of life support. How many cards do we have here? It looks like we're getting down to the bottom of the barrel here. And they have 6 cards left. We only have 3, so I've blown through a lot. I thought that I had more of an economy. But we are going to use the Chance of Weaving. And we're going to use it on the Lioness. We'll put Machinita right up there in Tikulu's grill. And we're going to try to close the end game because I actually don't have as many resources as I was planning for. And there we go with the Rhino. We don't even have the attack, so we know that's for sure damage. Let's beef up Machinita because we only have 3 moves here. And the Lioness we're going to attack just to get the Lioness a little bit more imposing. Now, I love the fact that we got 2 damage here. It's going to make them feel uncomfortable. Would love 4 damage. Yeah. Boom. Now we have a way better board state. We have this gate in order to protect our summoner if we have to, if they summon something with their 4 magic, and let's just go ahead and use our 3rd attack to whittle down their gate. Okay, yeah, so we do have to be conscious of the fact that we have 1 card left in our draw pile, and they have 4. We have to be especially economic here. Now, if I had to guess, Machinita is going to take a lot of heat. Blast. Target a common or champion within 3 clear straight line spaces of your summoner. Force the target 1 to 3 spaces. It may be forced through... Oh, it's basically like trample, and it adds damage. So, yeah, that's what I suspected. They're going to move Machinita out of the way. Rhinoceros is going to get hit, and they're going to attack with Tikulu. Putting a gate to block us out here. Yeah, it's tight. It's a tight game here. I would say that up until the Rhino, I had the advantage, and now we're really trying to buy things back. And they're going to discard down. They just discarded 1 for now they have 4 magic, and they're out of draw cards, so we are firmly into the end game here. I have 2 magic here. I'm going to summon another Rhinoceros. And we're just going to do some trampling over here. We're going to make quick work of this Mind Witch. We're going to get Machinita in range. Now, they could push her and stuff like that. She can take a lot of damage, but what we're doing here is we're forcing Takulu over towards our rhinoceroses, where we're really going to apply the pressure. And what I've done here is I'm blocking the summoning port, like where they can't summon in front of their gate here. So it's a strategic placement here. And I'm blocking that gate as well. And so they're really boxed in here. And she's probably going to attack with Takulu, that gate. But if she's attacking a gate, she's not attacking one of my characters, one of my cards. But I'm really trying to, as you're seeing, yeah, they do have the release valve of this gate all the way over to the left. But unless they do something that's really going to be mind-blowing here, they're in a lot of trouble. And there we go. Mind Witch, easy to dispose of. You know, this rhinoceros isn't in the most safe position, but we're okay with them distractedly attacking that. And we're going to, again, chip away at this gate just to get them a little on their heels. So right now, I would say I feel like I have the advantage. It depends on what they summon out here, but a lot of my characters have some good health. This rhino is maybe the most susceptible, but he's maybe the least likely a target, just because they would probably sooner attack my summoner or Machinita. Okay, and there is the end of my draw pile. It's looking like they don't have much to go off of here. She could take control of the rhinoceros, but the nice thing is here, he's closer towards the bottom half, like towards my half. He's not going to block Machinita, I don't think. We're okay with distracting Takulu. I'm a little worried because they have 5 magic. They didn't use any magic that last round. So we're going to see what that's about, but we're going to put Machinita right there. She can soak damage. That's the luxury of having 8 health. And I thought, you know, why allow Takulu to take control of the rhinoceros? So let's move him away. And because he has that additional move, Takulu can't capture him unless she wants to expend a resource on it. And again, that's a wild goose chase. And we have the ability to summon maybe a spirit mage right here, trap her in. We have ways of reeling her in. What we're really worried about is what they're able to summon. And there we go, down to 3. Again, we're kind of stuck here because we're body blocking their gates. But we'll see what happens. And they're going to mind control. Target any number of enemy units or commons within 2 spaces of your summoner. So it looks like 1, 2, 1, 2. Both of our rhinos are going to get attacked. There we go. And it's just for the turn. So let's see what they end up doing. Yeah, so they're putting the rhino within striking distance. Wow, they've used some cards here, and my cards, and they didn't decide to keep that rhino. They're going to get some more magic from that. 5 magic they have. And our summoner is alive and well here. So we're going to get our rhino back. And yeah, we are going to use our last magic. This is the last character that we're going to summon. Miti Kairu is too expensive. Our spirit mage, we're going to block them in. Machinita is just going to draw closer and closer. Machinita is ready to go next turn. So there we go. And that's pretty significant, 3 damage there. They're down to 6 damage, so they are not feeling comfortable at all. Let's knock this out with the rhino. Almost. We just need 1 more on that. And was planning on at least missing 1 of these. Actually, if I attacked with Abua and this broke through, it might put us in a more vulnerable position. So I'm actually okay with the gate not dying there. And here we go. We're going to pass it off to their turn. So they elected to put a Mind Mage in, and they're going to protect Takulu for another turn here. 4 magic left, 2 cards. I wonder if they have any other cards to summon. They might be at the end of things. And my Spirit Mage, crucially, didn't die, so they're trapped in there with my Spirit Mage, which can deal more damage. And Machinita, still alive, still able to do some damage here. So they don't have anything that could, one card, kill me with 8 damage. So I'm feeling pretty secure with Abua. Oh, and she gets 2 because the Spirit Mage, he actually did make a difference there. And the Rhino, unfortunately, still needs to be there to body block. And we haven't killed the Wind Mage, but likely we will with this extra roll. Wow, that is very unfortunate. It's not going to ruin our game plan here. It would be nice if we could do some damage here. And they're not even going to summon anything. They might not be able to summon anything. So there goes my Spirit Mage. They have 5. Maybe they've been saving up for a summoner. We will find out. So they have 6 and they have 1 card. What's the likelihood of that card being a champion that has 6 magic? So that's something we do need to be conscious of. We're just gonna protect our summoner here. He can only travel 2. I know the Rhino can travel more. And that is the Wind Mage dead. Now remember, I still have this power card as well, which is going to help us if we can get that Rhino on Kulu. And what do you know? They had a champion that was worth exactly 6. When this unit moves, it may move 1 extra space and through cards. Any friendly commons? That doesn't apply to us because they have no more commons. So this guy can move pretty quickly, but not more quickly than our Rhino can. So he could have chosen to attack my Rhino. If he attacks my Rhino, then it becomes a battle between champions and summoners. I don't think that's the right play, especially if they don't kill Machinita. That was a really unfortunate roll here. My Rhinoceros, he can move really, really quickly here. We're gonna get Abua just out of the way. And what I was thinking of doing here, now this is a little unconventional, right? Because I could move the Rhinoceros up front, but this is already taken up by Machinita, who's already going to be shooting down this alley, right? We know Machinita is going to draw a lot of heat and is not going to live long. So I'm going to use Machinita, and I'm going to body block because I know she can't push Machinita because there are no cards left. And what that means is my Rhino, because he has 4 additional move, he's going to be able to move all the way up there, and I'm going to be able to use the power to knock out Kulu at the end of it. It doesn't matter that Gualark can fly through cards and can move 3 instead of 2. We're going to beat Gualark in the foot race to Kulu. So I like what they were doing. They were trying to surprise, and that additionally just cements it, right? With that attack, only 3 health. It is not looking good for Kulu. So I like that they were trying to play the long game there. I really wasn't expecting them to hold on to that card. I thought they were out of abilities. And I forget, yeah, I got another attack here. We'll see what they do. Yeah, Gualark is going to draw in and get ready for an attack. Now, he could have drawn closer. I don't really know if that would have helped. But they're going to kill Machinita. There we go, didn't even need Gualark. And Gualark is just going to shoot one of my gates. Okay, let's close this in and see if we can seal the deal here. So we need to make sure that we are within 3 spaces of the Rhino in order for this to work. So that's why we're moving Abua closer. And boom, let's just shuffle him right up in there. And this attack, we're rolling with 5 + 2, 7 dice. We need 2 of them to hit. Chant power. Boom. We're going to use it on the Rhino. That gives the Rhino 7 attack. And there we go, 5 damage. And you know, that's kind of poetic because we were supposed to really turn that corner with the initial Rhino that had 3 hit points, but unceremoniously died. So that was the first game of Summoner Wars. I'll also include additional games with additional factions if you're really interested. Thanks for watching.